every Finnish child knows that when your grandparents and your parents were kids, they used to ski to school after they first milked the cows at 5 a.m. They skied 50 kilometers headwind and uphill to the school. Then they studied for 16 hours, 8 days a week, and then they skied back in order to get back before the sun sets at 2 o'clock. So they had to also fight barehanded with the wolves during the distance, and backwards it was always also uphill and a headwind. Today we test, are the skis the best method of moving in the snow? Today we do a comparison of different methods of moving in a snow-covered Nordic forest and different kind of terrain.
We're gonna use skis, snowshoes and just regular shoes without any helping device, and we're gonna see which one is the best. Of course we already know, but soon you'll know also.
We are the Nordic middle-aged men, and this is the skill of winter self-transportation.
So these pints are a traditional wilderness skis, pints if you will, so not like competition or sports kind of skis. Old school, the best school. Heading into the forest.
Okay, we're gonna make a small comparison how to cover a short distance with skis, snowshoes or just regular winter boots. So Jussi has the skis, Petteri snowshoes, Della with the 4 paws, and I have here just my regular winter boots. And we're gonna go somewhere over there. Let's see. Also, we noticed that at the moment we are walking on a frozen swamp, and since I don't have any appliances on my feet, my shoes go all the way down to the ice and occasionally through, so it makes it a bit more heavy to walk. How's it feeling, Jussi, with the skis?
Fine and dandy.
Not even out of breath.
Barely.
Petteri, snowshoes.
Slightly. This is like a, like a long jog or something that heart rate starts to come up, and it's slightly difficult, but pretty okay. Yeah.
Okay. For me, walking most of the way it was about knee deep, occasionally a little bit deeper. It's quite heavy walking in the snow, and I'm clearly out of breath. I could do this for, I don't know, 20 minutes, half an hour, then I would need a break. Like the gimbal. No.
So this winter it's been a pretty normal winter in our opinion, and there's plenty of snow, but what's a lot of snow and a lot of snow. So let's see. So now it went into the swamp, so I would say it's about a half a meter, maybe 40 centimeters or so of snow. So about that much. So that's not a lot. I mean, in Lapland, up north, it could be 1 meter, 1.5 meters, but it's still enough that it makes walking very difficult here.
One tip, if you need to walk in deep snow or even a little less snow, one important thing is that you keep your pants on top of your boots. So if you get snow in your shoe, it will melt, and then you'll get cold, your ankles will get wet, and like Jari said, you will probably die.
You are getting wet and cold and miserable, and then you die.
In winter survival, one of the most important things is to keep all of your equipment dry.
Okay, now we have the Finnish word of the episode.
Latu. Latu.
The skiing track that somebody has already skied. That is latu, a skiing track. Now we show a proper application of the word latu. It's latua perkele. So somebody slower is going in your track, and then the faster skier approaches. Latua! Latua perkele! That means that you should give me track. Perkele is a very general word that you can use to emphasize almost everything you do. Next we will do a sprint. We cover some distance. There is the frozen swamp, the marshes here around, and we test a sprint towards the opposite shore to see what happens when we gain some speed.
So since we're gonna start some more physical activities, we're gonna have to adjust. So open the ventilation, like so.
Okay, so I'm gonna run relatively fast, not really fast because there's so much snow, but relatively fast. Jussi's gonna go with the skis and Petteri with the snow boots.
Snowshoes.
And let's see how far can I go and how fast can they go. Ready? Ready, set, go!
108, 156. What we got? 183 now, but it was around 190, pretty close to maximum. So that was fun. Yeah, the snow here on the ice. This is not a factor for runner. So I didn't get any advantage here on the snowshoes. Only in the beginning, when there was something like a knee deep snow, I gained some if we compare it to the runner. But if we go to the deep snow, this might be even more dramatical, the change, the difference between me and the runner. And skier, he was on his own league. Heart rate only 108, while I had close to the level of anaerobic and maximum in between the transition, 156, something like that. And Sami had close to the maximum heart rate.
I was a little bit faster there where there was some obstacles on the way, but there was so much snow that I exhausted myself on the first 20 or 30 meters, so I couldn't have kept up with these guys for more than, I don't know, 10-15 seconds maximum more, and then I would have had to stop. And compared to the skis, I already started to loosen the speed, kept pretty well up with the snowshoes, but also that's because of there's not that much snow on the ice.
Yeah, we got only a couple of centimeters here.
A Finnish military saying, parasta mahdollista vauhtia, the best possible speed. It means not the fastest speed that you can gain, or maybe in some occasions it could be the fastest, but it means the most suitable speed for that moment. So it can be, for example, the speed that you can go on for a week, or 3 days, 2 days, or 20 seconds. Parasta mahdollista vauhtia, best possible speed. If there are multiple skiers, i.e. multiple special Arctic winter warfare operators moving with skis, we can use this technique we called ladun avaaminen, opening the skiing track. We ski to the untouched snow. The first person dictates the speed and goes as fast as he can. We are running, for example, from the some enemy known from the east, and we ran for their counter SOF forces. And he first opens the track. When he gets tired enough, he just steps aside and the following guy starts opening. The first to open backs to the last, and then we continue this technique until we have escaped the enemy. Like this. The first man, the point man, opens the track. He starts skiing. I'm the number 2. Now he gets tired, he steps aside, and I will continue.
So one of the great things about skis is that it doesn't really matter how much snow there is. I just opened my right foot binding, and now you can see the skis right here. My left foot is still on the ski, my heel is over there. And then when I step away from the ski, this is how deep I go. So as you can imagine, it's a pain to walk this deep in the snow, but it's really easy to ski on top of it.
If you found this topic interesting, you can find more on this on the YouTube, because After the Second World War in the 50s, lots of Finnish soldiers, officers moved to United States and joined the US Army, and especially went there to teach winter warfare. Several of them, and teaching skiing and all this stuff we just did. And probably the most famous of them all was Lauri Törni, soldier of 3 armies, aka Larry Thorne. And you can find a clip on a movie that they made on the 50s on the winter warfare called Phantom Soldiers.
So let's go through the pros and cons of the different styles and equipment. Firstly, I had nothing, just my winter boots. And pros, well, it's easy to carry them. They're always with me. I don't have to take any extra load when moving. Other pros, I was a little bit faster on rough terrain, but then again, as a con, I get exhausted very quickly in the deep snow. On places where there's not that much snow, it's not that much more difficult, but I'm slower than the other equipment. But the most important pro is that I don't have to carry anything, and that's it, nothing more.
The snowshoes, pros, they don't require much space, rather easy to carry with, and they don't need much training. If you want to, you can also use poles with these, but then it kind of neutralizes the pros of the small size, because if you use poles you need at least 1.5 meters more space. But easy to carry with, rather light, don't need much space, and you don't need much training. Cons, you don't get anything for free. Okay, maybe you don't sink as much to the snow, or you don't sink as much to the snow as without anything, but you don't be as much on the top as with skis, and you always have to lift your feet. So you have to do extra work. You don't get a one step free with the snowshoes.
So with the skis, I think we made the point quite clear. Obviously, I was the one who used the least amount of energy to move around. My heart rate was always the lowest, and I was staying on top of the snow compared to the other guys. And had we been doing this for several hours, let's say about maybe 5, 6, 7, 8 or even 10 hours straight moving, I think that the point is absolutely clear. There's no doubt about it. The one with the skis would be the least tired after several hours, because I don't have to lift my feet. I can, depending on the ski track, I can slide, as you saw in the video, and I also have the poles, which is also something. After several hours, when you start to get tired, and you will, especially with the heavy bag, rucksack and the weapon and all that, you will get tired. And once you get tired, you start to lose your balance, and then you fall. You have to pick yourself up again, and then you fall again, and it makes it very, very difficult. With the poles, it helps me to keep my balance so I don't fall around, and it also helps me going uphill, and also helps me going downhill.
Also, one pro with the skis, the next 5, 6, 7 guys behind you have it very easy, as you saw when we were opening the track. So it's always easier to be behind. With the snowshoes, or even without the snowshoes, just walking, you don't get this advantage. Everybody has to do the same amount of work.
Maybe a con with the skis, which I really don't think it's a con, is that it does take certain amount of training. Whereas the snowshoes, you can, if you know how to walk, you can use the snowshoes. If you know how to walk, you don't know how to use the skis. So you have to spend some time learning about the skis, going on the flat terrain, going uphill, going downhill, going over obstacles, going under obstacles, doing with the heavy rucksack and all this. But the amount of time it takes to learn to use the skis is definitely worth it, as in everything in life. anything that's worth something it takes some effort to go there.
We are the Nordic middle-aged men, and this was the skill of winter self-transportation.
Finnish military slang, kuusen perseessä, in the spruce's ass, in the ass of spruce. It's a saying that means that we are off the open, in the ass of the spruce, kuusen perseessä.